Obviously, at this point in time, at 1:30ish on Tuesday, folks are now aware of the Governor Baker's recent decision in the last hour and a half to keep schools closed through the remainder of the school year. So remote learning, which we have been doing since we left school on March 12th, had two different phases of it. The most recent one starting on April 6th. That will continue now through the end of the school year. And there'll be no events in school. There'll be no teachers or students in our schools for the remainder of the school year. Summer school is still up in the air. We run summer programs a lot for students at all levels, but there's no word at this time on what that will look like. I think remote learning has really taken off here in Marshfield. I credit our teachers, their dedication to this process. Our building leaders, our technology leaders have really stepped up and put together a remote learning plan that really reflects what the Commissioner of Education wanted us to do. I mean, his edict to us a few weeks back was to continue with teaching the standards that we've covered, but try to do it a little bit more deeply. So we weren't really tackling a whole lot of new material, or at least incrementally doing that. Now with this new information on the closures for the rest of the year, we will be tweaking that plan. We're going to be getting feedback from the Commissioner by the end of this week, I believe, and there'll be more of an emphasis on covering some of the power standards that we need to address. These are standards that you really want to have, each grade level knowing before they move to the next grade level. And we're going to do the best we can to implement those power standards into our remote learning structure. I think the format and the structure is going well, all things considered. The high school and middle school, having had more experience with our Canvas platform, they were able to hit the ground running with their lessons. The elementary school and their teachers have used Canvas less in the past, and there's been a little bit of a implementation curve there, both for students, teachers, and their families. But I think it's gone well. It's getting better each week, and the amount of work that the teachers are doing with the students is tremendous. I mean, each day it is chock filled with activities and with lessons at all levels, and so I'm pleased to see that. We're going to continue to look at the tools that we use. We might be expanding some of our tools. Right now, we're not doing live video conferencing, but that's something that we've had a lot of discussion on. And we had asked folks to be patient for the first couple of weeks, but we might move to that. But teachers have been recording a number of great lessons for their students and getting recordings back from the students themselves. Our TV studio at the high school is up and running, and they've been doing their Before the Bell segment. Even though the kids can't do it together, it's been really fun to watch. The creativity that a lot of the staff are using. We have two teachers at the middle school who are doing podcasts now that kids can sign into and listen to. So I think if you want to find a positive out of a negative situation, is that folks have found new ways to reach out to students and engage students in a meaningful fashion. And I think the students are responding to it. We see the amount of participation and output of work by the students as a testament to the fact that they are working really hard at it, and I'm really proud of all the efforts that are being made by our students and by our staff. I think I asked them, and first of all, I thank them for doing the work that they have been doing since we left school on March 12th. I urge them to continue to work hard as they can. I know it's a challenge for some folks getting access to some of this, but I think the more they do, the more engaged they are, the better prepared they will be as they move forward next year. I know that's a concern that some families have as far as we're going to be behind other students or behind other grades and classes. I think the bigger message is for everyone to realize that we're all in the same boat across our district here in Marshfield and go across the South Shore and across the Commonwealth. No one's getting a leg up on anybody else. I think everyone's doing the best they can with the remote learning. As a state, I think our remote learning plans have been very effective. I touted in a mailing I sent out the other day, an email I sent out to families that, MIT did a study of all the remote learning programs that are in place across the country, and Massachusetts was rated as the #2 plan. And obviously each district tweaks that plan a little bit, to meet their needs. But I think what we're doing is positive and productive and helpful in a very challenging situation. It doesn't replace what you can do in a regular classroom, and no one's saying that, but I think it is helping our students continue to move forward. But the more work they do over the next 8 weeks will will just better prepare them for what they want to do next year. I have had a few text messages already from folks on the MIAA side of things. As you know, we voted last week. If we were to return on May 4th, we voted a final season and postseason structure. But we will probably be meeting within the next few days. I mean, my priority right now is making sure Marshfield's up and running with this next phase of remote learning. But we will meet and most likely to take action on ending the season or the hopes of a season for the spring. Without school being in session, there's really no way to have a sports season if we're not able to be together in a school and be together in a classroom. Getting together on the athletic fields are something that's just not going to be in the cards, it looks like, this year. But we'll have that meeting later on this week, most likely. And again, it's not just the athletics that we're going to be missing this spring. I mean, we have plays and musicals and dances and obviously the big event in the spring, culminating the academic year, is our graduation for seniors, and it's heartbreaking that we're going to have to miss out on that, at least right now, for the May 30th date. But if I had a message for everybody out there, especially our seniors, we will be doing something. I guarantee we will have something in the near future for our students once it's safe to do so, and once we get the go-ahead from the governor or Department of Public Health, whoever it might be. We will be celebrating the senior class, and I've had conversations with the principal over the last few weeks, Principal Kuther, and we're looking at alternatives already in advance of this decision today if we had to move it into the summer, and we're going to try to find a way to do so. I was just on the phone with some of the school committee members as well, and they want to make sure that folks realize that we will do anything and everything we can for our seniors to celebrate their final year at the high school. Some basics, and for the high school folks, they will be getting their report cards from term 3. Term 3 was the abbreviated one. I typically would have gone through the first week of April, but based on the closures, the high school sent out a plan a few weeks back explaining that term 3 grades were closed as of March 12th when we left school. They were given a few more weeks to wrap up any work that might have been missing, and those grades will be going out in the report card that they'll be receiving at the end of this week. And there will also be parent conferences for the high school folks next Thursday, the 30th. I believe they're doing it between 1 and 2:30. And just like we did for the elementary school, those parent-teacher conferences, parents will have the chance to sign up online when they get the report card at the end of this week. And at the time that they sign up for, they won't be visiting, obviously, with the teacher, but the teacher will be calling them at home and having their 5 to 10 minute discussion on the child in that type of setting. So it's socially distancing appropriate type of parent-teacher conference. Also, we'll be having, continuing with our food service program where we have our grab-and-go meals for breakfast and lunch. We have probably close to a little over 100 folks now that are taking advantage of this program. We have volunteers handing out food at the Boys and Girls Club, and we have 5 to 6 staff members who drive around the 2 days a week. We do it on Mondays and Thursdays, and they've been hitting the homes and apartments that we're delivering to, and it's a great program, and our folks are working hard on it. We get support from the Boys and Girls Club as well as the food pantry, and we're going to take care of those families as best we can through the remainder of this school closure. We also had a real nice event last night at the Boys and Girls Club where folks helped put together a Patriots Day dinner grab and go, and I'm going to name off Mike Souza and the Bridgeway Inn, Polcari's Bridgeway Inn, and Mia Ragazza, the food pantry, the Molly Fund, and the Boys and Girls Club all came together, and we delivered over 100 hot meals to families who drove up to the Boys and Girls Club last night between 4 and 6. And there was grocery bags as well from the food pantry, and desserts that were provided for the kids. And it was a really nice, touching event, and the folks really appreciated it. So we're going to continue to do what we can to help support those families in need when it comes to some of those services that they've always relied on from the schools.